Oh, all right, y'all. Since it's been brought to my attention that I say that a lot at the beginning of videos. All right, y'all. Before we get, all right, y'all. 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 Today. All right, y'all. 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 We back. All right, y'all. Yo, dog, we heard you like fish, so we put a fish tank in your mud flat. All right, y'all. So Kevin told me I should do a shirt design that says "All right, y'all," because I say it a lot. But all right, new video. Saw by the title. We're working on the S10 again. We're taking it even farther back into technology. When I bought this truck, it had a TBI 350 with Vortec heads, a Holley Sniper, a 700R4 in it. So far, we've broke a cam or lifter, ruined the cam, put a new cam in it. We took the 700 out because it wouldn't hold power and put a Turbo 350 in it with a, I thought was a bigger stall than what it is, but it's not real big. But it's got a stall in it. New drive shaft, and the O2 sensor wire on the Holley Sniper managed to get pinched under the valve cover. So the O2 sensor doesn't read, so it runs like crap now. So we're gonna go even farther back and we're gonna put a carburetor on it. Yes, that's right. We're gonna take fuel injection off and go back to a carburetor. I talked to Holley. They can fix the Sniper. I'm gonna send it back to them, have a new ECU put in it. That way, when I do get ready to use this, I'll have it. And I have a plan for this. So, not just the Sniper, the whole motor. If I don't blow it up, which is a possibility. So, you saw this truck in the last video. We were working on it. I took off this week working on it to do some customer trucks. I've done a step notch in one, and then that white truck right there had a 6-inch lift on it, and I took the 6-inch lift off and put a 2.4 drop on it, and it is the roughest one I've ever done. It took me 3 days because everything on it wouldn't come apart, wore out. The truck's got 358,000 miles on it, and apparently lives on a farm because it was dirty, and I'm filthy. I just finished it. Even putting the gas door screws back in fought me. Like, that's how bad it was. It was a pain in the ass, but it's done. And I'm about to pull this in. I think I got everything I need. I ordered some parts. Got a fuel pressure regulator, fuel pump, carburetor, gaskets, spacers, everything. Stuff to make fuel line. I hope I have everything. There's a charity car show from my buddy Kenny Wright tomorrow. And if I can get this done, I may drive it out there. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. If I don't get it done, I'm going to drive the pink truck. But I also got the S10, the other S10 out today. Drove it around a little bit. And it's charged so KK can drive it. And that's enough rambling. It's been 3 minutes. Let's get busy. All right, I'll show y'all right here what we got. So, Holley Sniper. Truck cranked right up. Runs like it's supposed to. But the AFR is unplugged. Still runs good. But when you go when you're driving it around, you try to go wide open throttle, it'll do that, try to shut off. Like I say, I'm gonna send it back, have it fixed. And for right now, we're just gonna put a carburetor on. Also, for the people that are curious, this is the O2 sensor wire here. Where it was pinched, I cut it out. I resoldered all the wires, put them all back together, didn't fix it. It may have shorted out the O2 sensor, I don't know. But instead of throwing a bunch of money at it, trying to figure it out, I'm just gonna put a carburetor on it. Let me show you what it does with it plugged up. It goes to 35.6 and just stays there. No matter what you do, it won't. It reads like, yeah, super lean. So I don't know if it's in the ECU and the O2 sensor. I don't know, but we're gonna fix that with old school technology. All right, so I got some parts here. You can't see them there off the camera, but sorry. I got a 4-hole carb spacer. This is a 1-inch. I watched an episode of Engine Masters where they dynoed these on a basically identical motor to this one. It literally had the same cam. And I swore that the 4-hole made more power, but I went back and watched it this week, and apparently the open one made about 2 more horsepower, but we're gonna try it anyway. I found a steering wheel to match my wheels, my bullet hole wheels. I actually have one of these in my black C10, and it weighs about 6 ounces, super light. And I wanted one, and they're super cheap on eBay. They're like 120 bucks. But you have to have a adapter plate, or adapter, steering wheel adapter. This is a 5 or 6 hole black adapter for a GM. So I've got that. So we're gonna put the steering wheel on it. I got an empty bag. I have a stock TBI S10 fuel pump for I told him an 89 with a 4.3. So they make 15 PSI, which will be plenty for this. And then I have a fuel pressure regulator here. All this comes from Jegs. It is a return style because this truck is set up to have return style. It is just a small regulator. Has a liquid fill gauge to go with it, and it has 3 outlet options. You can put it in either 3 and then cap the other ones, and then it has a return line in the bottom. We're going to try that, and then, like I say, it's got the screw on top so you can adjust your pressure. I got that. That is the mount for the regulator. I got some fittings, carb gaskets. I got the carburetor for the double pumper, double feed black fuel line. Black fittings. As you can see, we're going all black on this one. I even have a black carburetor. And I don't know what's in there. It looks like an empty bag. And then in here we have 12 foot of universal fuel line with some fittings. That way we can go from the regulator to the carburetor. And it's all black. Matches. I have a black face. Equius, however you say it. I don't know. 5-inch tack with shift light. The only tack in this truck was on the Holley, and that's going away, so on the tack, so I can watch it. And then I got some longer studs for the carburetor and another random fitting. And that's it for right this minute, I think. I think that's everything I bought. Oh, and I already had the carburetor. We actually bought the carburetor for my dad's Chevelle. It had a Quadrajet on it, and it wouldn't idle when you put it in gear. And we put Phytech on it, and it still wasn't idling gear. And we bought this Brawler 750 and put on it, and it still wasn't idling gear. And after the third thing, we figured out that there was a bad sprag in the torque converter, so when you put it in gear, it was just lugging it down. And last year for Christmas, I bought him a stall converter, and we put it in, and it fixed all the problems. So he went back to the original Quadrajet that was on it because it's a matching numbers car, and he wanted it, you know, all original as he could get it. And it runs fine. So now we have this brand new Brawler that's got about 2 hours of runtime on it. And we're going to stick it on here. Hang on just a second, and I will show it to you. Phytech kit, junk. It's actually probably alright, but with the car, it wouldn't run. I know some people have had serious running issues with them. And we have this Brawler 750 electric choke. It is a mechanical secondary, not a vacuum. So, can you see me? I can see you. Can you see me? All right, so we got that, and it had this little chrome dual feed line with a gauge. We're not going to use that. We want black, so we're going to do away with that. And my dad's car had a, like I said, Quadrajet factory, so it takes a special adapter plate. There's no way that that makes good power. Yeah. So we had this on this carburetor. Yeah. All right, let me quit rambling and get to work. Oh, all right, so I got all the Holley Sniper stuff pulled off the truck, which you can tell by the sweat running down my nose right now. It sucked. Everything under the dash is out. We had to take the distributor cap off to get the last plug out of the firewall. The plug was right behind the distributor cap. So it's loose. I'm going to wait till I get everything wired up before I hook it back up because I'm not sure what's got to wire into the tack and all that stuff that we bought. So first though, I've got to take these studs out of the intake. It's really simple. Couple half-inch. The nuts were half-inch if yours are 7/16 or 9/16, whatever. But, so you just take 2 of the nuts. Why has that got black stuff all over it?
I don't know, I got on my hand too, it just wiped off.
Like a rag here to get it off your hand?
I didn't get it off.
Get it off? Okay. Alright, so you're just going to take and tighten them against each other, and then we're going to break them loose. And it's that simple. So, and then you just break these back loose. Spin them off. And we've got 1 inch longer studs to go. I actually have 2 sets of those because I ordered a set, and then the carb spacer that I ordered come with gaskets and studs, and I ordered gaskets and studs because I didn't know the spacer was going to come with it. So we're going to get these last 3 out and put the new ones in, and we'll be right back. Come on, get it clean, girl. Come on, you can do it. Just finish it. I'm not showing your face. I'm just showing what you're doing. Face. Go. Oh, and by the way, this is a dual plane Edelbrock Performer RPM. Pretty good intake. You know, had pretty good luck with this setup here. It makes decent power. It ain't no pro mod by any means, but it does pretty good. And it's thundering. We get this carburetor stuck on here. We're going to find some supper. It's Friday. Got a pocket full of money. Need a steak.
Chicken fingers?
Shrimp and grits if you could eat them. We'll go buy some Benadryl. If KK's not in the next video, you know she tried shrimp because she's allergic to it. She used to not be allergic to it. She misses it real bad, and every time I get it, she tells me she hates me. And do. Alright, so we got the new studs in, and we're going to start this stacking effect of stuff. First, we're going to put a 4-hole gasket on there because we have a 4-hole spacer. We're going to put it on. Ta-da. And then we're going to use a square spacer. And then we're going to put this new bracket, or not new, but this throttle cable bracket back on. And then we're going to put, yeah, that is the new one. No, that is not the new one. That is. Where is the new one? In the bottom of the box pinch. Come on, baby. Alright, and then we're going to put the gasket on top of that. And I really hope that this thing runs okay with that 4-hole on it. Alright, we're going to get this carburetor. This is clean. We're going to pull it back off though. I got to put the fuel lines on. Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. I need to pull that intake and valve covers off and have Justin powder cut them black. It's going to be like, wah-bah! Wah-bah, wah-bah! Alright. I have the hole covered up in the motor. Would you like to go eat now?
Sure.
Alright, let's go eat. Alright, so the windshield wipers on this truck don't work. And I want to mount the fuel pressure regulator where the windshield wiper motor is. And being I want to do like SIG week in this, I should probably keep the windshield wipers, but I'm an idiot. So there's a little clip up under here that you have to push up to get the windshield wiper blade off. And I was fighting with it, and I was like, KK, pull up a YouTube video and see how people are getting these off. I've had umpteen dozen of these trucks. It's not something you really take off all the time, but check this out. You need a straight pick. There's a little hole in the windshield wiper arm right here. Pull that dude up. Stick your pick in there, push down on it, and it just pops off. I have fought with them dudes for 20 friggin' minutes trying to get them off before. And it was that simple the whole time. And I had to do that to get the wiper cowl off, which is full of leaves, so that I can get this wiper motor out. And hey, race truck, weight reduction. Yay! Alright, so I came back from eating supper and jumped right back in and forgot to film some stuff. Alright, I got the carburetor bolted on. All the bolts are tight. Those studs were long enough. They actually probably wouldn't have hurt to have been just a little bit longer. But this adapter bracket was on the sniper setup. I pulled it off, swapped it to the carburetor. It's got my linkage. It's got my carb, my carb return spring, and then my transmission linkage here. my detent cable. So I've got this plumbed, but it's kinking it, and I don't have a 90 to go right here, so I just ordered one off Amazon. Today's Friday. It's Friday night about 11 o'clock. Says it'll be here Sunday. But I'm gonna get the truck picked up tomorrow and see if there's any slack under there that I can free it up enough where it's not kinked till I can get that 90. So that's my feed line coming in, and that's my return line going out. If they were switched, it would have made my life a lot easier. And I may can switch them at the fuel tank. I'm not sure. I don't remember what that looked like when I had the bed off. But like I say, regardless, I'm still going to put that 90 there because it'll clean it up where that line will be coming straight down instead of up at a 90-degree angle looking funny. But I'm going to get my dual feed line on now and then figure out what I got to do to run it to that fitting. That one right there. Also, I forgot to get a fuel filter. So I don't want like an inline plastic one with hose clamps. I don't want that. So I just found a clear glass one that has 3/8 pipe thread at the end on each end, and then I can put a straight 3/8 to -6 so that I can put it in line. So it'll be here Sunday also. So, all right, I got my feed line made up here. Just comes around, got me a 90, got a 45 there, just kind of point it down. And I put these fittings together. I'm not real good at it, but maybe it won't leak. You have to force this onto the nylon and the braided part, and it pushes it and wads it all up on both sides. Maybe it'll be all right, but this hose is temporary anyway because I have a fuel filter coming, like I said a while ago, that I'll put in line somewhere right here. And I would like to. It would be real nice if I could screw it onto here and then screw this line onto the other side of it, but I'm not sure it's going to work out like that. But anyway, I can crank it like this. I'm pretty sure there's a fuel filter under the truck. I don't think Chris and them would have put the fuel injection on without putting some kind of fuel filter. And I want to say the factory inline one is still up under the truck. So at least we do have that fuel filter. But I've done about all I can do tonight. Tomorrow I got to get a longer piece of hose there. My PCV valve won't stay in the valve cover. I got to extend that. And I've got to get the bed off, change the fuel pump, put the wiper cowl back together, wire up the choke. Then we can go on to doing the tack and put the steering wheel in. And we're about to be done with this project. We have a charity car show tomorrow night that I would like to go to. So I don't know if I've said that already. For my buddy Kenny Wright, he was a police officer here in town, and when the hurricane hit, everything was without electricity, and he was standing in town directing traffic. It was hot, and he fell out. He had a stroke. He still hasn't recovered, and we were going to go support him. That's all there is to it, because he was my buddy, and still is, but he's got speech problems now. He can't talk good, and we want to go support him. So I would like to take this little hot rod out there. It's right here in town, so it ain't too far away. But yeah, that's the goal. I should probably stop living my life like this and wait until the night before it's time to go to do this stuff. But the front bolt off a while ago, and Chad make sure there wasn't a bunch of crap in there. It looked brand new. The rear one, I'm gonna assume is the same way, but you know what happens when you assume. So, all right, I'm going inside for tonight. I've got to get a plug for this tomorrow, and I read in the directions to run your inlet here, and then your supply to the carburetor here, and then this one will go to the other side of the carburetor, but we're not doing it like that. And then I watched the video, and the guy said it doesn't matter which one of these goes where, as long as your inlet and your outlet was on this one of these three, and then your return was on the bottom. So we're gonna try it. If we need to move it, we'll move it. But all right, so it's next morning, getting back after it. I got the truck in the air, got the tag lights took loose from the bumper brackets. Most people's truck don't even have those anymore, but this one still has them, so we're gonna keep them both sides. There is a 13mm ground right here that you have to take loose, or 1/2 inch if you're a standard person. Unplug tail lights, take your bed bolts out. I don't know why the hell Chevrolet didn't put a hole right here so you can get to that bed bolt. They did the rest of them, and it looks like somebody has hooked the chain to this one on the rollback and winched it a little tight, ripped it. But we got this loose. If y'all remember, if you've been watching the channel for a while, we put a gas tank in this thing after we got it. It started leaking gas. It had a big hole punctured in the front. Somebody had packed it full of like JB Weld or something, and then probably held for a long time. But we can go ahead and snatch this bed off real quick. I got everything loose and go from there. And no, that did not come out of this truck. I don't have any lights and gloves. Wipers. Pulled the wipers off. Seems to not be a fuse in there. You ain't even filming, are you?
What are you doing, sir?
Oh, trying to figure out if there's a fuel pump fuse in here, but there's no writing on any of it.
This man has got his feet out in the back glass.
I hold myself up with a...
Dude, did you get in a wreck?
Oh.
Oh, that's got to be the most uncomfortable position there is.
It's pretty rough, I ain't gonna lie. I don't see anything that says fuel pump though. I am not a smart man, but Jane A. I know what the red wire goes to now. We've been trying to figure out what was up with the fuel pump wire, and we had a fire back there. I unplugged some junk under the dash yesterday, trying to take the Holley out. And yeah, I unplugged the power wire to the relay for the fuel pump. So once we figure that out, hopefully we got it figured out now. We got to swap this pump.
I get paid by the hour.
Wait, you guys are getting paid? Alright, so this truck, I don't know how much gas is in it, but it's got a stock sending unit with a Walbro 255 in it for high pressure. And we're going to go back to a stock fuel pump for this truck, which is TBI. They make 15 PSI, which is enough that that regulator can handle it. It can't handle 60 and regulate it down to 7. So we're just going to swap the fuel pump. And the gauge inside doesn't work. So I'm hoping that by putting a new sending unit in it, we can fix that issue too. Yo, this thing's about empty. I just put fuel faster up.
Oh, that hell raising.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, we got a S10 with a V8 in it.
What? I mean, I didn't buy it to put it around here. I got one of those.
Yeah, screen just fell off in there.
Yeah, that's just Kristen put a Walbro 255 on a stock sending unit, and I'm gonna put that on the shelf and keep it because well, we have a Blazer that needs it.
Yep. And don't mind all the trash in the background. He's lacking on cleaning up.
Here, it won't quit raining. It's all
There
wet now.
and all over there.
I know. I can't burn it when it's raining. I can't reach that either.
Man, you can't put your hand. You can probably get your hand
I
in
can't
there.
get my hand in there, ain't Brandon? Y'all?
Yeah, where is Brandon Young when you need him? Him or Chandler?
Yeah. Now, if I get my hand in there, it's gonna stop right on my forearm. My forearm's too big. I have some really long needle nose pliers. Do you know what happened to them? You think there's any metal on that thing?
I doubt it. Well, I'll be dang. That boy used his brain for something.
Yeah. It's usually Dan coming up with the harebrained ideas. Dang, that dude really is about out.
Well, look like the first trip in this thing is going to be to a gas station.
It won't be in the rain, though.
Why? That makes it even more fun.
Man.
Got these right here.
I was talking to Kaylee in there this morning, and she was like, you going to be out there doing burnouts whenever you get together? I said, not if it's raining. She said, why? I said, you don't remember that trip and that black square body in the rain? She said, oh, I remember us almost swapping ends in town and wrecking. You remember that when we went that cruising? It rained for 5 minutes the whole way there.
Yeah, yeah.
I left it up there overnight. I said, I ain't even driving it back to the house. That was dangerous. All right, let's see what we got here. Precision A25011. Stock fuel pump for an 86 S10 with a 4.3. Or 89 S10, I think is what I told you. Watch, it's going to be completely different.
No, don't say that.
Ooh, it's so shiny.
Well, so far, so good. Huh?
Hey, the plug is the same color too? You must be on to something.
That's a wing there.
New gaskets.
Now, the fun part is watching him struggle putting it back in.
Man, why you gotta say stuff like that? Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and drop that on there before I forget it. This goes.
That's wrong.
I just did that backwards, didn't I? That goes over the top.
See what I'm saying? The guy struggles.
They're real around here. I tell them in every video, we do not claim to be mechanics. How are you even supposed to get that over that?
You gotta be smart on what you're working with.
Just bend it a little bit, it'll be fine. There we go.
And your dad's calling.
Oh, let's answer.
We'll be back.
All right, so I got the directions out, and apparently the inlet side is supposed to be here, and the outlet side is supposed to be here or here. I had them backwards, and when we turned the key on, it went to 15 psi, and didn't regulate anything. So I need to get some fuel out of it. I'm gonna let Dan see if it'll crank now. We got the fuel pump unhooked, and that hose is kinked real nasty. I got a fitting coming tomorrow to fix that, but it's not tomorrow. So, all right, let's see if this thing busts off. This is legit. First try here. Hang on just a second.
You gonna work the throttle or
Go ahead. I set the choke. Hang on. I forgot. I had the distributor loose, so we may have to do some turning on it until we can get it to run and set the timer. All right, go ahead. I don't remember which way. Timing is way off. Let's go way back here. All right, try it again. Hang on. All right, let's go way forward. Try it one more time. Huh? It's on 0. I got the fuel pump unhooked. Choke set, but I hadn't wired it up yet. Try it again. We're getting closer. Alright. Hang on, let me get a screwdriver and turn this idle up. This back here. Alright, so we got the fuel regulator installed, and it's just blowing through. It's like wrapping past 15. And we've been checking some stuff. Made a couple phone calls. It's got to be set while the motor's running, but still, even with the motor running, it's like shooting way up. We took the return line loose at the regulator, gas coming out everywhere, but we have none at the fuel tank. So something between there and there must be clogged up or something's going on with it. So
there's a screwdriver. It's not in the fuel tank.
yeah, okay. So we're going to see if we can figure out what's going on here. All right, so after further investigation, check this out. It appears that the fuel line up there is pinched between a bell housing and the floor. I hope it's really that simple, where we can just move it and it fixes our problem. But we'll find out in a minute. Dan, because he's the tall one, reached under there, got the fuel lines unkinked, and we have returnage now, so maybe we can get the fuel pressure regulator set. We're gonna hook all this back up and try again.
Now we get to watch him struggle hooking the line back up.
Yeah, well, it's on the wrong side of these. Factory line, there we go. Because me being me, snatched it while I got it and pulled it all out, and that hose is gross. So, Dan, when you getting married?
What?
Everybody else get married. When you get married?
I don't know. It'll be a while.
Jose's already married. Brandon's already married. The rest of us is engaged. You're the only one.
Rance ain't engaged.
Rance ain't never going to be engaged again. He's just going to be a professional whore. Did you notice the fuel gauge was working?
I know.
All right, we been tuning on this thing. So this gauge, hang on, I got a smudge. So this gauge is reading about 7, and this one will get on up over 10. I'm gonna trust the new liquid filled jegs over the cheap Mr. Gasket one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if it'll crank without. Fuel injection, what? Oh, that's great for film. Sorry, my screwdriver's in here holding my choke open. I hadn't wired that up yet. What failed? Gas tank fell out. Fuel pump. Alright, we got this thing idling. It's actually a little low. It's about 600 right now. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit higher. About 800 there. I think it needs a little more squirter in the front, but I don't have any, so. Let's go do burnouts. Nah, let's go hook the tack up first before we blow it up. So you can see here, we're about 6.5 on that, about 10 on that one. We're gonna call it 8. 6.5 and 10, we'll just say it's 8. Alright, so we had a scary moment. I was trying to film a little Snapchat there to send to my buddies in the group chat, and about blowed this thing up. Throttle hung. Revved on a little too much. I insert the clip here. Woo! I like to throw that up though. I thought I blowed it up. But what actually happened was the hold down for the distributor, they got a little curve to them, so they'll put pressure on them. Mine had flattened out, and you can move the distributor kind of easy. So I took it off, beat a curve back in it, put it back on, and I didn't have it seated on there good. So when it revved up, the distributor said boop and popped up a little bit. Whew. Thought we'd done blowed this dude up. And yeah, let me put this PCV valve back in while we're standing here talking about it. All right, let's see if it'll run. No pump, no nothing. Fuel balls look good. All right, we got to wire the choke up, and we're about to hook a gauge up and put the steering wheel in, and we'll be ready to roll. All right, so we got this, pronounce that. Equus.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, we got this tack with shift light. Got this little bracket. We just pulled the AC, wherever it's at, I threw it in the floor. It don't have anything hooked to it because the AC don't work. And it looks like it's already had a tack in here before. There's a few holes, but we're going to put a couple more holes up here with some bolts. And then we already got a hole to run our wires down and get this thing wired up. It's real simple. It's like, what, 4-wire hookup?
Yep.
And you got a power, ground, tack signal, and you got to hook it to the light so it dims or comes on. And that's it. So, yay. And after that last little scare, we definitely need that shift light because
yes,
done almost blowed it up one time today.
Smells like a wire burning.
Probably a wire burner.
Probably.
Brandon made it out. All right, we're about to wire this choke up because it keeps closing. It's pissing me off. We just got to run a key 12 volt there. So we're going to run it up somewhere. Not really sure exactly where we're going to run it to make it look good. We're running inside to a key 12 volt, and we're going to follow protocol on this truck because every wire on it's red, and use red wire.
Might as well keep going with it.
Might as well. All right, we got the tack wired up. It's working. Brandon's setting my shift light at 5,000 because, well, TBI motor. They red line from the factory at 45, so we're probably pushing our luck right there.
Yeah.
And we're going to go get a good return spring now because, well, I don't want the throttle to stick whenever I pull out there tonight and give us some gas. So we took the one that was on there off. I'm going to have to build some kind of bracket off of this bolt here to put it. Actually, there's one on that big block over there. I don't have to build nothing.
Nope.
All right, see y'all later. All right, I got this old dinosaur big block over here in the corner. And this is the one out of the dually, still sitting here. And there's a throttle return spring bracket. We found these. And we're going to steal it. Sorry, Strucker.
Should have came got it.
Should have come and got it. We're gonna steal parts off of it if it's sitting here.
That's it.
Yeah, and got
Not in the bag.
not in that white truck out there. May end up in this S10 for long. Actually, I think this motor makes more power. So. All right, she's back on the ground. Air filter. What did you do?
I know what I did.
A while ago, he said, "I smell a wire burning," and then just a minute ago, the portico said, "Whoa!" and he turned around and that dude was on fire.
So apparently the wire that was in here was not that's not good. It stinks.
I put that plug on there, so there's a good chance it probably wasn't connected good. Because the what's it, GFIC
Yeah.
plug that was on there, when I first bought that portico, I took it to a cruise in town and it started flooding, and everybody pushed my $700 fan out into the rain, and it shorted out, and it was like a week old, so I had to put a different plug on it.
I might have another plug.
Long story short, truck's back together and cleaning all the tools up, and we're about to go for a little test drive to get some gas because this dude ain't got none in it. Oh yeah, I forgot the steering wheel. So it had this grand in it, and I just took the nut off with my fingers, and I just pulled this off without a steering wheel puller, and I had a rod of tape holding the center button in. Yeah. And the screws that come with the steering wheel to go to the adapter are trying to thread into the steering wheel, so Dan's popping it out the next size up. We're about to bolt all this junk together. Then we go for a test drive. I need to buy a new drill, eh? Hit it real fast. Just wah! Stick it to it.
I got a good D-roll in the trailer.
That one to get it done, you just gotta talk dirty to it.
Well, that's what I figured. I mentioned that D-roll, that Milwaukee start going to work.
We're drilling it out now because the holes don't line up with this adapter, so yeah. Together. It's time to go to the car show. And then me and my dad drove down the road a while ago, and I thought we lost third gear. But apparently the D10 cable needs to be tightened up because it's you got to turn it about 3,500 a second to get it to change gears. So, but tach's working. This never worked. Now it works. I don't know what we did to that, but it works. It was on a police barrier. You see it? Somebody's not having a good day. There was 5 cops in one car.
Dang.
So this works. This works. 180 degrees, and yeah, Dawson's behind us. Brandon Yon's somewhere back there, and he had to turn his trailer around. Chandler's back there, and we're about to go meet Dan, eat some supper, and go to this car show. Well, we made it. Get a good picture. The truck may be knocking. Boob loaded up. Her heavy foot on the way out here. Nah, it's making some noise. I think we're gonna have to adjust some rockers again. Hurry up, boo. I ain't moving, the gnats are taking me over.
No promises. Alright guys, we're gonna try not to wreck this old golf cart.
Oh, the tires is rubbing. We got too much ass on here.
It wasn't rubbing until Dan got on here.
Fatty.
You don't talk to me like that.
Especially your date.
Huh?
Especially his date.
Getting on the lawn.
Hey, get them a side view of this thing, see if it looks squatted.
Man.
Is it squatted?
If y'all hop up and down, we might get this thing to a wheelie.
Alright, Noel came out tonight. Tell them when your next cruise in is and where?
May 17th, next Saturday, downtown Waycross.
Waycross, Georgia.
Y'all come out.
What time?
Starts at 6. Get there early for a good spot. First come, first serve.
Yes, sir. Cruise a little S10 over. Made me look bad. Pretty sure mine's blowed up. His ain't. But anyway, just want to give y'all a shout out about the cruise in. If y'all in South Georgia, North Florida, y'all come out. I mean, you can come from Alabama if you want to.
That's right. We got
Dustin Hale did.
Come from Atlanta, Alabama, all over.
Yes, sir. You ain't gonna scream or nothing, are you?
Probably.
It ain't even fast. Alright, you ready? You holding on? All right, it's Sunday now. Drove it last night, done great. The rockers were a little loose, so we came back last night, pulled the valve covers off, adjusted those, got the tick out of those. And today, USPS left my packages on the porch in the rain, but luckily it was nothing that could get hurt. So this is the fitting that we had in the regulator. We got a 90, 3/8 pipe, JIC. You don't tape these; they're machined to seal without thread tape, but these pipe threads, you got to seal those. And also got a Russell -6 on both sides, inline fuel filter. I don't know if these are serviceable or not. It doesn't look like it. So they're cheap though. So part number on that is 650133 if you need one. And then part number on this fitting, if you do ever happen to need one, was the Evil Energy 6AN to 3/8 90. And we're gonna throw this in real quick, and that should about be it. Rainy days here in South Georgia, so we can't go play any, but it's a whole different truck. Feels good. All right, so we got our feed line. It goes from the regulator down to the carburetor, and I forgot to order a fuel filter, so I ordered one Friday, and it's here. It's a Russell. Like I say, I don't know if it's serviceable or not. I'm just gonna cut this line, and we've got a couple straight fittings, -6, that we're gonna add in line, so we can add this fuel filter. There's a lot of ways to cut this. You can cut it with a cutoff wheel, like PVC cutters, whatever. I'm gonna use this bandsaw right here because it's here, it's convenient, and it works. Put tape on it to keep it from spraying so bad. And then we're gonna get the tape off.
May was like, what is that?
And be real careful because this junk's got like nylon strings on them. I don't know exactly what it's made out of, but it will unfray them, and then you will really catch hell trying to get the fitting on. Looks like I'm gonna catch hell trying to get the tape off. All right, you got a reusable fitting here, threaded apart. Got to get in here real close. These suck, by the way, because these come off of Amazon. But I don't know if you need to spray them down, but I'm going to spray them down because helps keep that nylon in check there. We get all the nylon in there. Now we're going to drop it on the floor.
Good job.
And we're going to get all the nylon in there that we can, which is hopefully all of it. You have to push down and twist at the same time. And about the easiest way I've found to do this is put it in there. And then still, it doesn't always go all the way down. But you can look down in there and see this one's actually bottomed out. So we're good. And then this one just threads in. Should be able to spin it down probably halfway by hand, maybe a little more. And then we're going to just clamp it in this raggedy AS vise. And I brought a wrench over here. Where's it at? Pause.
Don't think you brought it over here. Go ahead.
Alright, so we got our wrench. We're just going to tighten this all the way down. And we're going to drop it on the ground again. Gravity works at this shop. tighten it all the way down. And that is good. That simple. Now we got to do one more. I hope we don't mess it up, so we have to build a whole new line. But this stuff is, Amazon stuff's pretty cheap. I mean, we got extra if we do. And these fittings are reusable. You just take them apart, swap them over to the next line, and keep going. Reusable. You like my attire? It's raining. I got my Brooks is wet today, so we in the boots now. It's rained a lot. It rained 4 inches today. It's a lot of freaking water on the ground. KK can't drive in the rain either.
I drive just fine. Did you die?
Almost.
But did you die?
6 times.
But did you die?
So her Escape's got these little dummy seatbelt locks that you put in the seatbelts to keep the thing from dinging. So, because, you know, well, we don't really
Does not come with the car.
Yeah, we don't wear seatbelts. If you're interested in those, they're on Amazon. Pretty cheap. But we took them out of the seatbelt and put our seatbelts on because of KK's driving today.
It was not because of my driving. It's because half of the roads was underwater.
Yeah.
And the car was slipping, sliding, and just on the off chance. But we didn't. So, I mean, that kind of goes for my driving skills there.
Yeah, we didn't die. But if we did, would anybody be sad?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for you.
You see these dogs?
Yeah. Alright, so that one there didn't twist all the way down, so I'm just going just like that. I don't know if that's the right way, but that's the way I do it. Is it going to leak? Possibly. Are we going to find out today? Probably not. Slicks and rain. Fun. I need a new vise. What's y'all's opinion on a vise that's not like $500 or more? I've been thinking about getting an old Harbor Freight door one. Try it. There we go. See, that one got skinned up a little bit from my wrench. They make special AN wrenches for this, but I don't do enough AN work to justify buying them. So, let's go put it back together. Alright, so we put it together, and it was too long. It looked stupid. So, we're going to do it again. We're going to chop this one down some, and see if we can make it look better. I say they're reusable. So, don't sweat that. See, it just falls out. We're going to throw a little tape on it about yay much shorter. It was about just right before we put the filter in, so I'm just going to take about the length of the filter off. God, I'm all thumbs today, bro. Can't hold on to nothing.
They're just going in the rain.
Yeah, it's just what they do. We're close. Yes, 18 right here. There we go. We got our new 90 here. Get the kink out of there. We got our fuel filter. Start our air filter back on, and we are done. D-U-N. Done. You recording this? Mm-hmm. So one of the things Chris had put on this truck was one of these air filter lids too, instead of just the, you know, your old school chrome lid. And I like that. It gets airflow from here and here. So I think we're good. Okay. Let's cold start this thing. See how it does. We're going to switch the key on. Max the gas to the floor one time to set the choke. Alternator's not putting out yet. It don't look like. Come on. Piece of junk. No fuel leaks, we're good there. Runs good with the carburetor. I'm pretty impressed. See if the choke's opened up yet. Yes, it is. This is about impossible with one hand. There we go. I don't know if we showed y'all this earlier in the video, but we got this gauge set at about 7 psi. And this Mr. Gasket one's actually reading about 10, but I'm going to go with the new liquid filled JX one over the Park Store Mr. Gasket one. And we're going to do a little cruising in this thing, put some miles on it, make sure everything's good. And then there's a testing tune coming up in a couple weeks, so if everything's good, we may go play at the racetrack a little bit and kind of see what kind of numbers it runs. I've got a, let me switch this thing off. I've got a draggy. I got to charge it. It was dead yesterday, but I may get it out and do a couple little times. But don't expect no super fast time. Maybe some bottom nines, high 8, something like that. It ain't gonna set the world on fire, but it's a fun little truck. Like I say, we drove it to the cruise in last night. Everything went good. I do have to do something with the front suspension. It's I've lowered it, and the control arms are hitting the headers, and it's terrible. And it has no suspension travel in the front when you're driving it. But I would like to put a drop spindle and some trick springs in it and some good shocks, but just gonna have to come back and do that later when the budget allows. We got some other stuff we need to spend money on. So appreciate y'all checking it out. Sorry it's not bag truck related this weekend, but if you like me, you like all of it. So we'll watch about anything. Once again, if you're not subscribed, you've been checking out the channels, please subscribe if you feel like you should or you can. It doesn't cost anything. We're not a channel that charges you money. So we're just trying to build trucks in our garage and be idiots with them. So appreciate y'all checking us out. Lowerclassfab.com. If you want some merch, we got a few things on there. Not a whole lot, but we're gonna ramp that back up and see if we can get some new shirt designs here soon. And if you would buy an alright y'all shirt, let me know so I might make one of those and make Kevin happy. Appreciate y'all checking us out. See y'all on the next one.